guys, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you are new, hi, I'm Sam and I do all things Disney. So if you love Disney just as much as I do, then please consider subscribing to the channel. Completely free to you guys. Just click on the subscribe button and join my little Disney community. So guys, some of you may know that I am off on the cruise liner staycations for the UK Magic at Sea. This is purely for UK residents only, so super exciting and once in a lifetime opportunity for the UK to be able to sail with Disney. So guys, today I thought it would be a really good idea to share with you all the rules what is related to COVID-19. Now, some of these are taboo, some people don't really like what Disney has put into place, but certain rules is necessary and we have to obey them if we are wanting to sail with Disney this year. I am in 2021, so this is the most recent information. It is the 2nd of June. I was going to do this video a little bit earlier when they first announced all the rules about COVID, but I just thought I would wait a little bit, see if the rules changed, because I just didn't want to give my viewers wrong information, because it's an ever revolving situation when it comes to COVID, as we all know, and I just wanted to make it as late as possible but efficient enough so I can give you this information, but also it's going to be relevant to when we actually sail. So guys, the first thing I'm really wanting to touch on is PCR testing for your family. Disney has put a statement out there that if you're under the age of 18 years old, you have to provide Disney with a negative PCR test 7 days or 24 hours before you actually board. So for me, I've got 3 children. This is going to be a little bit expensive, but Disney has also said that they have got a third party to do these PCR tests for a discounted rate. I am now 50 days before I travel and I haven't got any information from Disney yet of who is this third party and how much it's actually going to be. So it's all a little bit up in the air still of who is going to do these testing and how much is it going to be. So as I've said, I've got 3 children. Is it still going to be pricey? I'm still going to think it's going to be around about £150 to maybe £180 for the 3 children. It could be even more than that, guys. So I've got to make sure that I've got that within the affordability, so you can make sure you have got that money when they do announce who is actually going to be providing the PCR tests. But you don't have to go with Disney. You can get your own PCR test from another third party. You don't have to go with Disney, but when you are actually boarding, you need to provide them with a negative test before you actually can get on that ship and enjoy yourself. So remember, everyone under the age of 18 years old have to provide Disney with a negative PCR test. But if you are over the age of 18, you don't have to have a PCR test. You have to provide Disney a negative flow test on the day you go. So when you arrive at port, you have to go into this kind of system where they will do the flow test for you. This is provided from Disney. This is fully Disney's responsibility. They will pay for it. You don't have to pay for this at all. But if you are over the age of 18, you do have to have a flow test on the day you go. Also, children have to have this as well. So everyone in your family has to have a flow test. So it doesn't even matter if you had a negative PCR test 7 days before you went, you've still got to have this flow test before you actually get on. So it's kind of like double protection for the children because they've not had their vaccinations, and it's just making it a little bit more safer when you are on ship. So guys, now we're going to be talking about vaccinations. So if you are over the age of 18 years old, you have to provide Disney with a fully vaccinated document. Now, Disney again is not announced how we've got to provide this document, but you have got to have your first and your second dose before you actually travel. Your second dose has to be done within 7 days before you travel. So it don't matter if it's 4 or 3 days you've already had it. It has to be 7 days before you travel. You had to have your vaccination. A lot of people thought this was a really bad taboo. They didn't think it was fair of Disney that people what was in their 20s with families, they was not able to go because it's not been offered them. But as I speak, it's the 2nd of June now, and if you're over 30, I think it is, the UK is offering vaccinations. So make sure that you are booked in when you do get your phone call or a letter or anything like that. Make sure that you are ready and waiting when you are offered the vaccination. For me, my daughter has underlying health conditions, so I was able to have it a little bit earlier. I have had my first and I've had my second now, so I'm super grateful about that. My husband's had his fully vaccinations as well, so we are good to go. But I do know for a lot of people it's just not, you just can't do it, because if you are in your 20s, you've not even been offered it in your 20s yet, and if you are a young family, it is a little bit of, it's not very good. But I'm sure that Disney has tried their hardest to compensate everybody, but trying to make it safe for everybody as well, which I suppose they can't make everybody happy. It's just not, you just can't do it these days. So yes, I'm sure Disney did try their hardest to make it as flexible as they possibly could. So the next thing I'm wanting to touch on is refunds. So a lot of people has probably had many holidays postponed, cancelled, rearranged and all of that. But when it comes to Disney Cruise Liner, we didn't know the full rules of what they was actually going to do about this. But what they are actually doing is 30 days before you travel, you are allowed a full refund for any kind of reason at all. So if you just decide to not go and it's within the 30 days, you can get a full refund, guys. But if it's under the 30 days and it's COVID related, you are still able to get a full refund. It doesn't even matter if it was 2 hours before you meant to board. If it's COVID related, you can get a full refund. So for an example, you test positive for COVID on the flow test on the day you go, you can get your money back. So there's that flexibility in then, because I was worried about if you do the PCR test for one of your children and they come out positive and it's 7 days before you go, are you going to get your money back? And the ultimate answer is yes, you'll get a full refund as long as it's COVID related, guys. So the next thing I'm wanting to touch on is masks. As we all know, when it comes to masks, we've been wearing them for, well, in the UK, I think it's been for about 8 months now. We have had to get used to wearing masks and it's just come to be the way of life now. But we didn't know the rules of what Disney was going to do. But when they put this statement out that you have to wear your masks at all time, apart from if you are in your stateroom, if you are sat down at a meal, or if you're taking photographs outside. But if you are taking photographs outside, you have to be at a distance, so everything has to be open, fresh air, and it has to be really, really safe. You can't really snuggle up to somebody if you haven't got a mask on for a picture. It has to be at a distance and it has to be safe for everybody. Also, you do not have to wear a mask if you are lounging. So if the sun's out, I'm hoping it's in the UK, so I don't know if the sun's going to be out, but I'm fingers crossed it's going to be. But if you are lounging on a lounger and you're just trying to catch some sun, you do not have to wear a mask as well. I was at first, there was some controversial about it, that you had to wear a mask while you were sunbathing, and I thought, oh my god, I'm going to end up with this like mask line here. But no, if you are actually lounging, you do not have to wear a mask. Also, you don't have to wear a mask if you are swimming, which I'd imagine that would be a bit dangerous, so I don't think that would happen. But no, you do not have to wear a mask if you are swimming. And all of these rules apply from people who are 11 and up. So if you are under 11, so children, they do not have to wear a mask by the rules. This is not a requirement from Disney. They've not put it into force that under 11s have to. All they've said that they recommend that children wear masks as well as everybody else, but they have not said you have to. So for me, I will be taking my children's masks with me. I will be trying to get them on as much as I can, but if you've got children with additional needs like mine and they've got autism, sometimes it can be very difficult to get children to wear masks because of the sensory difficulties. I know what it's like. So if your children are under 11 years old, you do not have to. It's not something they're putting into force, but if you can, do it. It's safer for everybody. It's safer for your children. But no, don't be stressed out if you can't get your child to wear one. If they are over the age of 11, like my son is autistic, he has to wear a mask. He's 13 years old, so he's okay with wearing masks because he's going on holiday. But it's all of that kind of like balance, I suppose, and I'll get him to maybe lounge on a chair for half an hour just so he hasn't got to wear his mask on. We'll have regular visits back to our room so we could just have a rest and we could take our masks off, just to make the situation not as hot and flustered and getting everyone stressed out because you've got to wear a mask. But me and my husband were okay. We would just wear one. My husband has to wear one at work all day anyway. For me, I don't really like them, but it's to protect everybody, so we will, and that will be not a problem. So the next thing I'm wanting to touch on, and that is virtual queues. Now, virtual queues, I can't even say it, guys. Oh my goodness. So virtual queues are something Disney is actually put into place. So for an example, if you are wanting to go into the pool, when you actually at the pool side, you have to go get a time off them, and then they will tell you, right, come back at 12 o'clock, and then you go back. So that's a virtual queue, so you're not waiting in a massive queue for your turn to get in the pool. Also, it's to stop crowds, so that is something they've put into place to make sure everyone is kind of social distancing and there's not so many people trying to go for the pool at the same time. But also 30 days before you travel, you are able to book event. So if you wanted to go and book the show, which is the Disney Magic Show, and I cannot wait to see it, guys, it's going to be amazing. But if you wanted to see that 30 days before you go, you can go onto the Disney app, and that has all of your information of your booking. But also 30 days before you travel, you can book events, which is amazing, guys. I cannot wait for that. So you can book whatever you want. There is going to be times for it. I hope there's not going to be much crowds, and I just think all in all it's going to be a better, less busy environment, which I just cannot wait to share with you what it's going to be like, because I'm going to be vlogging it for you guys. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss those vlogs, especially if you're going on this Disney cruise as well and you're going a later point than me. I'm going in July, so if you're going in August, make sure that you've got that notification in as well so you don't miss any other videos, so you can get those Disney vlogs first. But yeah, I'm just so excited about the booking system, how it's going to work on the day, how it's going to work. They open at 5 AM 30 days before you travel, guys. So I'm going to be still in bed at 5 AM, but because how it works with the US and their times and everything, it's 5 AM 30 days before you travel. You're able to go on the Disney app and click your activities, what you want, and get the times and the slots, and it's going to be amazing, guys. So I cannot wait for that. So guys, that's everything I've got to share with you today. I really hope it's helped you to clear some things up. You've probably known a lot of it anyway, but I just wanted to make sure I've covered everything on my channel and making sure everything is kind of present, up to date as I speak. And if Disney do upload any more information, they update it. I will put another video out there so I can update you on any new information, because I want to make my channel as present as I can on all the information what Disney is providing us. Also guys, I did put a video on Know Before You Go. Now these questions are something what Disney has not directly put on their website, but it's what people is kind of like found out by emailing Disney and getting that kind of like feed from that way. So if you would like to see that video, I will link it above so you can go and check that one out. It's really good to get some genuine information actually what Disney's not directly put on. So yeah, and the feedback on that was amazing, so go and check that one out. But for now guys, that's all I've got for you. Remember, if you're not already, subscribe to the channel and join my little Disney community. And also I am on Instagram, so if you want to find out all the latest things that's going to be coming on my channel before it hits my Disney channel, then go and find me on Instagram, which is Sam's Disney Life. I'm also on Facebook as well, Sam's Disney Life. So come and join me on there guys. I love hearing from you. I love to get to know you. Give me a comment below. Are you going on this cruise? When are you going? Are you excited? Have you got any questions? Put them in the description. I would love to answer anything you have got on your mind. But for now, that's all I've got for you, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.